I've seen other attempts, sort of go south. It just turned into more of a bitch session than like true support.
They're either fucking drama filled or they're like, all you need is some wine and some chocolate on deployment and you'll be great. Just keep going. And I'm just like, I don't fucking want to hear this right now. So we're somewhere in the middle of that.
All right. All you need is some strange dick and you'll be fine.
That rear dick, man, it's on special today.
Please remember, the views and opinions expressed by this show or any other show on DV Radio and its guests are strictly those of said individuals and do not reflect those of the DV Radio staff nor the staff of dysfunctional veterans.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Attention, everyone.
You're tuned in live.
DV Radio.
Online and on the go on your mobile device.
Listeners' discretion is advised.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get ready to
Hey, you're listening to DV Radio with the old guy. I see Bo, who never leaves his couch for some reason. Google and Recoil, and I don't know where Marquis at.
I was going to say he probably went to Kruger.
The little garlic sauce is delicious. You alt-right neo-Nazi bastards better stop it right now.
If you use the cheap sauce, it don't taste good.
It tastes like ass.
And I've got an important message.
Joe Junkie and Carrie Crack are perfectly fine for Tombstone.
Well, Carrie Crack is perfectly fine. She's in New Zealand. I would have sex with Brad Pitt.
How can you even read that with a straight face? Well, I've heard that many like short and tuna can girth, so I'm winning in that round apparently.
You're tuned in to WDVR on DVRadio.net or by searching DV Radio on your TuneIn app on your favorite mobile device.
Because this is how it is on DV Radio.
That is how it is right here on Barracks Talk Live, WDVR, DVRadio.net. Apparently, I'm the only one that's going live with us because everybody else sucks. Major donkey dick. Oh, what's that? Someone's over there slurping coffee. All of a sudden, they decided to join us. I'm Boner Wood. It is June 16th, 2018. We got DV6 Recoil. We'll have Google in here sometime tonight. We also have Al from Unconventional Vet Spouse that'll join us after the first break. DV6, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. And Tree Hugger, you're going to have to send an email to Google at dysfunctionalveterans.com. I'm trying to get her to get more of those farm coins. We really, really need more farm coins. So there's so many people waiting to go. I'm doing good. How the hell do you stay so upbeat? It's just sickening.
This sickening?
It is sickening.
Why is it sickening?
Well, anyhow, I mean, because your life is supposed to be like, shouldn't you be like whining and stuff? People don't know how bad you got if you don't whine. I think your life's all hunky-dory.
That's true. That's true.
But, of course, if you go to these... Well, first, how's everybody doing? Okay, rhetorical. Covered that.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We didn't cover that.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't. Ask it again.
Is this our first fight of the night?
Ask it again. And wait for responses.
How's everybody doing tonight?
DV6, everyone is doing great.
Holy shit!
Hello, everybody.
Martha!
It's Google.
Fire up your shit.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to DV Radio, Barracks Talk. I am Marquis Davis here with your fellow co-host, and we're going to have an awesome time tonight. I promise you it will be fun.
I just postponed bed tonight. I got the chub. Hey, well, I'm going to cut some of my time to interview you at the beginning of the show. Let me go through my spiel here, and we'll get back to you in a second. You finally made bail. Either that or they threw the charges out, and I'll find out in a minute. All right, very important notice. Pay attention to the next couple of minutes. I'll try to be as brief as I can. Yes, there still is an open house, 4th of July barbecue, fireworks open house, blah, 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 on the farm in Gilsum, New Hampshire. I have not created the event page yet, but I will. Please, when you see it on the page, if you are truly interested in coming, if you're more than 50% sure, click going so I have an idea of how many people to expect. We really haven't pushed this that much this year, because look, I'm getting old. It's a lot of shit. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, and it's just getting even crazier. Also, Flags for the Fallen is. I'm hitting buttons. Hold on before I break something. I just did something. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Flags for the Fallen is a campaign to go through all 50 states where they display a flag representing each of the veteran suicides for that month. I've got 700 flags representing New Hampshire here that are going to go up. And what I want to do is create another event page and would like to know how many people would be interested in helping us set this display up on the DV farm. Howard Berry, let me give you a little background, is the father of one of the Fort Hood so that was there during the shooting. His son was there, was credited with saving a whole bunch of lives. Unfortunately, a few years later, he became one of the 22. He's been a big advocate on behalf of us veterans and of veteran suicide. He's been on Fox. He's been on all the major news networks. He's been petitioning Congress. He's spoken to many Congress people, and every time I talk to this gentleman on the phone, he sounds more and more like us. So he will be here too. I'm just waiting. I want to do this when he flies up. When I have those dates, I'll publish that. But going back to the 4th, if you come up on the 4th, the flags will be displayed, so you can come pay your respects to that too, or honor somebody. So there's a lot going on. Also, I would like to thank the Gilsum Bridge. It's a quarterly newspaper magazine for our small town, and they've been trying to feature us in their thing, and they did this week. It came out. So if you go to the DV farm page, okay, who's taking a shower? You're not muted. Meanwhile, on the Weather Channel, then that's somebody else. I'm sorry. I love you. You know what I learned? Here's something that she just reminded me. Did you know that when you're married and your other half does something to you, like let's say your hands are full or you just got done working your ass off, they pull up and ask you to do something, and they're standing right there perfectly capable of doing it, and you look at them and you deduce that it's just better to go do it than to say no. And so when you go and say, okay, I'll do it, and then you know how they say when you agree to do whatever it is they ask you to do, you know how they say, I love you. That really means fuck you, asshole, go do it.
Right. I love you, Daddy.
I'm showing that to a guy that he's not married yet, but he's been with the same girl for years. I says, watch, my wife's going to tell me to fuck off or fuck you. What? Watch. I'll show you during this road trip. Watch.
6, really quick. I don't think Recoil knows about our surprise yet, so.
Okay.
Hey, Recoil.
Oh, my God.
Recoil.
Holy shit, risen from the dead, it's Marquis Davis.
Risen from the dead.
Okay, you can continue.
Hey, Bo, how does that sound, Bo?
It's still a little muffled, but we'll get through it.
All right, so back on track. How's everybody? I hope you've been so that's the updates. When I get that up, it'll be up on the main page. Don't forget, there is a new social media platform called MeWe. We've been over there for about a month. And within 2 weeks of being over there, there's supposed to be no rules, but 2 weeks after we launched, the first of the many rules that I'm sure that are going to came down. And everybody's blaming DV for that.
Can't believe you would fuck up the terms and agreements of MeWe after all these months.
Yeah, somebody said, I've been here for 2 years and there hasn't been a problem. No rules, nothing. You guys get over here for 2 weeks and boom. So I hope everybody's doing well. DV Radio is your vet radio. that you don't have to pay for. It's free, but if you want to support it, Bo will explain later in the broadcast. If you're driving a truck, please pay attention, because when I listen to the radio, I sometimes don't realize how I got from point A to point B, because I'm listening to not this show. I listen to another show, but it's not the point, you know?
Fucking traitor.
No, I'm not a traitor. I sometimes listen to it when I force the vets to listen to it as we go to VA. Listen, I'm driving you to VA. The least you can do is listen to the show.
I listen to the shows that I'm not on.
Isn't it easier?
Mm-hmm.
You get to listen to almost all of them.
Yeah, well, plus I want to hear you guys talk shit about me.
Oh, boy.
Oh, shit.
So, I have a small rant. It's not a major rant. Well, I see these links.
Wait,
to other.
This is DV6 is getting ready to.
Is that something new?
Yeah, I updated my soundboard today.
Wow, see, donations going further. You know how let me try and say this. You know how we complain about mainstream media, how they can take a little problem, magnify it, make it look like it's a crisis. Well, we do that. People on a lot of these different vet sites will do that. And I hope we're not part of that. I mean, I will do news links, actual news stories, because I have to. That's what everybody wants to see. I can't ignore something that's prominently featured, you know, all over the news channels, because everybody's talking about it. But I'll give you an example. I see more and more of websites going, you know, the new generation of entitled veterans. You know, yeah, we have millennials that are vets, but this thing about where vets feel entitled and all that, I think is a problem that's been around since the beginning of war. And it's a small few where they brag about their service, let alone that. But it's not something that's at crisis proportions, or it's something new, or that there's all these people doing it that are, you know, because somebody makes a post about they didn't get their 10% discount, all of a sudden now all the major websites, vet owned or whatever, are like, fucking people, goddamn commit. You know, it's you chose to serve, you know. And then they start critiquing and labeling other veterans. If they hate grunt style, they'll say, and all the people that wear grunt style shirts are pretending to be operator is fucking. If they hate DV, well, that's the reason VA is killing people, is because of goddamn DVs. And if you have, then it's like if you have more than 2 or 3 bumper stickers on your vehicle, you're a Pogue wannabe, you know. One is enough. I just like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think it's all these people out there tearing up civilians and don't thank me for my service and stuff like that. I don't think it's that big a deal. I know what it really is because I'm in the business. It's about generate controversy to generate clicks, which generates revenue. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, please send an email to Bo.
Poor Bo.
Yeah, but let me just say this. Let me just say, I do advocate this. And it's sort of the same lines as what JJ over at PTS Dog does. It's the same concept. When you have a service dog and you're denied entry into an establishment, there's a difference between going in a mom and pop establishment than opposed to a corporate, one that's owned by a big corporation. Big corporation, yeah, you need to get the word out, blast them so that they fix the problem if it's widespread. But it doesn't mean you lose your cool. A mom and pop place, hey, the guy might, you know, the last thing you want to do is create a scene where you make all vets look bad. Going with that philosophy, you know, whether you wear a DB shirt, grunt style, 9-line, that's the only shirts out there, right? Ranger Up, yeah. So going with that same line, it doesn't matter what shirt you wear. But when you go out, you know, there's a right way and a wrong way to handle things. I teach the vets here in the program about that. Anger management. A real, not the kind of anger management the VA teaches you. I said there's an appropriate level of force you can use. You know, obviously if somebody touches you, that's the worst. You have my permission. You're not going to get thrown out of the program. You know, beat the shit out of them. But just to the point where you can't keep beating them up if they're unconscious. No, but in all seriousness, it's all vets got to carry themselves in the same way. And I highly doubt anybody was out there beating up civilians during Memorial Day because they said Happy Memorial Day. That was a manufactured crisis. All over
I don't beat them up. I roll them over with my power chair.
All right. Put tread prints on them.
Yep.
Now that's another thing. Now there's something. There's this. We're going to do the same thing they do. Did you know Uber won't let Bo be a driver?
That's right. They won't.
I posted that up.
Did you really?
Power chairs and wheelchairs are not acceptable.
Yeah, even though it has a reclining seat, it's not acceptable.
He's a veteran. Damn it, he's entitled to an Uber job.
That didn't sound right. Can we get some articles on that?
Well, that's where social media is a double-edged sword because on the upside of it, veterans are more able to communicate with other veterans because it's easy to find people and get into contact. The downside to it is also the upside, which is where it gets really complex. Is veterans are able to discuss veterans issues with other veterans. However, it's in a public forum, which makes it open to criticism, which is why we created the DV forum at dvbarracks.com. That gets you off of social media, and it's strictly veterans talking to veterans.
But it's so funny, though, that the ones that lambast, bash us and all this, post the same memes, bitch about the same things, and even hawk their T-shirts.
Well, and largely what they don't realize, obviously, is they are the fucking problem.
Oh, I didn't want to say that, but...
I will. I'll straight up say it. You motherfuckers are the fucking problem. Some brothers joking around having a good time with a little bit of dark humor and some dysfunction are not the fucking problem. It's you loudmouth motherfuckers that don't want to work with other veterans, that want to sit there and bash people who've been through shit that you may not even.
Yeah, but the whole page is run by pogues and rear echelon people, and the guys served. All these nobody ever presents any facts. We've been dealing with this for years. Right. All our mods have SOPs when they even still go after the farm, and the standard response is, "Oh my God, it's a scam! Have you reported this to the New Hampshire Attorney General?"
Right.
I haven't. Why?
Right.
They want because you're just fucking stirring up shit.
Right. Perhaps you should schedule a visit and go up and see for yourself how.
The other one is the most recent one I saw was that somebody asked on one of the haters, "What's the DV page?" Every post starts with "as a veteran," and then they cry about something. I'm like, so I went back to the DV page as a new person and scrolled back 10 years, and I never found one of those.
As a veteran,
yeah, because it's an easy way to search that shit.
Right.
But look, I think the reason why we're growing and they're either not are going backwards or gone. A lot of them are gone. It's hard to find entertainment, And I love how they refer to just Facebook as the veteran community. That's another level. The community is like we work with this organization works with all the organizations out there, whether it be on Facebook. But there's a couple on Facebook. I can name Battle in Distress, Warrior Point, Disgruntled Vets, and then there's a few others coming online. But the real ones, DAV, VFW, American Legion, all those nonprofits that are physically there, that have put the work in for years. Not just somebody getting on turning, I just got off the shitter. Let me make a quick video to talk about how I'm going to do everything, and this is why you guys should do that. And then, you don't see them.
Well, to piggyback off that, Six, I'm actually getting ready to do an episode upcoming in a couple months with the UK, Australia, and some Canadian veterans talking about their VA system, whether they have one or not, and how big of a problem it is. It's not just organizations that we do, we work with. On top of that, it's actual veterans.
Well, it's like we will try to do our best to promote everybody, that comes along. But it's just, go ahead.
One of the groups that you mentioned, I actually haven't even said anything to you guys about this, but one of the groups that you mentioned that I've always really admired and respected is the VFW. And I contacted the VFW, and I'm now working with some of their senior leadership. And
the VFW, they just sit in a bar and they just drink. Now then you're ignorant.
Exactly, and that's
the reason why we have half the benefits we have
is because of them, and that's the thing, is their image, and that's what I approached them about, and like I said, I'm working with their senior leadership now on putting together some ideas and some programs of the ways that they can get beyond that crusty old men sitting in the bar that look at you like you don't fucking belong there.
Yeah.
Let me just educate the public. The bars that you see at your local VFWs keep the lights on, keep the building paid off, and stuff like that. Back in the day, that was their Facebook, but that's how they raised money. And then any money that made profit, they give away to organizations. They hold fundraisers, so before you knock that, if that's your reason why you don't join the VFW.
Yeah. But I am going to try to get, recruit some people in different VFW posts all over the place to try and get some of these ideas out there. I mean, shit like when a brother.
But that requires going to meetings. That means I have to get up off my ass. I can't. Right. And I got to get on Facebook and bash TV. Or disgruntled vets. They haven't gotten any in a while.
Yeah, but just shit like if a brother or sister in the area is deployed, like fucking go over and mow their grass for them while they're gone.
Yeah.
Don't be a Jody.
Right.
Well, I was mowing her grass.
Right. Not part the drapes. No. Mow the grass.
All right. Listen. Because Bo's going to cut me off in a minute. But what we were initially talking about, this is something we desperately got to work on DB Radio, is stay on topic, stay on target.
Says the guy that never makes it to the pre-show.
It's only you, Six.
Well, again, we need to work on it.
Says the one guy that never makes it to the pre-show.
It's been a busy day. Busy. All right, so it's a good show. I know Bo's got some interesting and good people lined up for us to do some interviews with this week. I can't think. Oh, that's what it was. That's why I kept trying to cut in on that one. Talking about these big organizations. The big organizations have been instrumental in helping me keep this farm alive. Not only have they been mentoring me, they've helped provide transportation where I've been just stretched out too thin and couldn't get everybody everywhere. So they have driver service. Ride sharing service. And the American Legion in Walpole, New Hampshire made a huge donation of $5,000 out of their coffers to help this organization continue on. Not DB Radio, I'm talking about DB Farm. So it's been a help to me, and we try to give it back as much as we can. So, a lot going on this week. I really would like to see as many mods. One of the things I need help with is if my mods are showing up, if they show up early, that way I get help and get to meet them and have a good time. And then the 4th, we have the event. But I would like to see as many. I'm trying to turn it into an annual event. And plus, if I have bodies here, if the Quonset hut ain't set up yet, you can help finish that. A lot of progress has been made. A lot of progress. At some point, I'm going to talk to Bo, but I'm just curious to anybody listening now, what would your thoughts be? Would you be interested in, as if we did a sideshow, I don't like Sideshow Bob, but like a smaller podcast or live video on just veteran homelessness issues associated with drugs and alcohol? Maybe try to help people that are in, maybe you're not in recovery. Before recovery comes the use part, but maybe you're, throwing the idea around that maybe you need help. I mean, if a rehab commercial comes on TV and everybody in the room looks at you, if you've had that happen to you, maybe you might want to hear some of this. What do you think, Bo?
Yeah.
You have lots of time. You just sit on it.
Yeah.
I think since everybody's here, I'm gonna hang around. Is there anything else that I didn't cover that needs to be covered? Lock your kids up, because if they come on the farm and they weren't invited, they're going over to the other house and the parents are going into the cages. So that didn't make sense.
No, it didn't.
We'll talk about that later. Oh, real quick. Yes, Bo briefed me on the Samuel Jackson tweet, and I'm sure this is going to come up later, but let me tell you, I'm no fan of it. I mean, I like the work he does. Yes, I know about his politics. Yes, I know how he said he was going to leave the country. He bashed Trump. But I think what happened to him today, I'll defend his right. You know, what happened to him was fucked up, you know, and
Yes, it was.
it's the same thing with all over this country is going on, is, you know, freedom of speech is being eroded by mob mentality. So I hope we talk about it more after the break. But,
well, we got an interview after the break, but yes, we will talk about it after the break sometime.
Well, that is after the break. Even if it's like 5 minutes before the show ends, that's after the break.
Well, I'm saying that so somebody can remind us later in case I forget.
And Chappie, I need to talk to you at some point tomorrow if that's possible. I see you floating around the... Hey, Chappie, did you like the meme we made of you last night? I got to figure out, how do you... Somebody put in the chat how I upload images into chat.
You can't on this chat. We've told you.
What?
We've told you this is a completely different chat. You can't do that on this chat.
Yeah, but there's a... All right, sure. Right, okay. Do your spiel.
God.
I'm going to mute out. Go poop.
We have a really lame chat now.
Yeah, that's so lame, guys.
Wow. He's busting his ass trying to get this website up and running. And then it comes and we go, ugh.
It's so lame, you guys. Oh, my God. Anyway, what DB6 failed to mention is that if you go over to mydbstore.com and purchase a certain amount, I can't remember what it is, but if you go over there and purchase a certain amount, it tells on the website, we'll send you a 3-foot by 5-foot American-made American flag with your order for the 4th of July because it is around the corner. That is mydbstore.com. We've got awesome brand new products and upcoming more new products, however you want to say it. Whatever. So go over to mydbstore.com. Get your shit right now. Marquis. Hello.
Yeah, what you need, Bo?
Oh my goodness, yes. What's up, Bo?
Yeah. See,
He fell asleep.
I'm right. This dickhead hadn't been here in so long he forgot how to fucking work a radio show. Anyway, really quick,
They don't have a radio program in jail?
I wish I was in jail. I would have ate better.
Right.
They just have cable TV and a gym.
Really quick, Marquis, before we go to break, we'll talk about a lot of more stuff with you after the break and after we do our interview. But where have you been? What's been going on?
All right, everyone. So I want to let everyone know I took a sabbatical, had to get myself together, had a little job for a minute there. You know, I was trying to work things out. Lost the job because, you know, my attitude does not work well with others at times. It's okay. It's okay. I figured it out. So, you know, after I took my little break and I figured out that I needed to woo-saw some and I don't need to yell as much, I don't need to curse as much, I figured out that life is a little easier. You know what I'm saying? That's what we all need to do. Sit down and figure out how easy life can be once you just settle down and calm down. And now I'm back because I really miss my DV friends and family. You know, Bo, Recoil, 6, Google not so much. She's irking my nerves. She's irking my last nerve.
Shit stirrer. I watched her the other night during chow while we were eating, and she's over there giggling like, you know, one of those evil people on a cartoon. I go, what are you doing? And I look, and I go, wow, that's fucked up. The poor guy's probably having a good night. Now you guys, he's black, you know, so if his blood pressure goes any higher.
I know, right?
You
Want to be in the hospital again?
Google won't even let DB6 have mashed potatoes anymore. That's how bad it's gotten.
That's why I had to have them for lunch today. No, that's all I had. I threw corn in.
All right.
Go ahead, Mark. It's your minute.
We don't do the Marquee minute no more. So
Premature, huh?
Well,
premature. We all do it.
Well, really quick, Marquis, do you got 10, 15 seconds that you want to tease about something?
Yes. Okay. So next week I have a show, the Marquee Dirty 30. You all have heard of it. It's coming back. And so next week we're going to talk about the Kim Jong-un and the Donald Trump fiasco or or saga or whatever you want to call it, whatever source of news you use, we'll have it described differently. But we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some current events such as the NBA Finals and, some other things such as the celebrity suicides being looked at highly upon, whereas veteran suicides are just brushed under the rug. And there you go.
Nice. Very nice. So that's the Marquee Dirty 30 next Saturday. That's June 23rd at its normal time. So be ready. Tune in. It's not a rerun, motherfuckers. Better listen.
All right. All right, boys and girls. I will not be on the other side of the break. My kids decided. Right? My kids decided to have a Father's Day bonfire for me tonight, so I'm going to go out and spend some time with them. But I really wish I could be on for this guest that's coming up, because this young lady and her husband are both exceptional young people that I think all of the DV family is proud to work with these guys. So stay tuned for an awesome interview.
Well, we love you, Recoil, and enjoy your Father's Day.
Weren't you there for that birth? You don't need to go to a damn bonfire. You saw him come out of a vaginal canal. Come on, dude.
Ain't the first time I've seen that kid and a burger in the same moment.
This is Recoil tonight.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
That's why he's going to be listening to you tonight. During that bonfire. That's it. But yes, go ahead.
I'll probably be actually playing guitar at the bonfire tonight.
Nice. Hey, record it for us. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, right. Here's Recoil falling face first into a bonfire with his favorite guitar.
All right, everybody. We are going to take a break. On the other side of the break, we've got Al from Unconventional Vet Spouse talking about her upcoming show, which is going to premiere on June 22nd. We've got a lot of information about that show, why they're doing it, et cetera, on the other side of the break. And we'll talk about Marquis Dirty 30 and where the fuck he's been a little bit more. You're tuned in to Barracks Talk right here on dvradio.net.
DV Radio.
Do you love bacon?
Yeah!
Do you like guns?
Yeah!
Mom, I want my cheesy boost. Yeah, god damn it.
Do you love America?
Damn right you do. You crazy bastards that keep freedom ringing need to get over to mydvstore.com now.
Okay, redo. I can't do it now.
Let's dubstep it up a little bit.
Number 2.
Remix.
Number 2.
Remix.
Number 2.
Remix.
Okay, redo.
Number 2.
Remix. That's what happens when you're reading.
Add a little spice to your life with the Scrollo Discussions right here on dvradio.net. Wednesdays, 2000 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh, yes.
Man, we should keep that one.
You're listening to WDVR on dvradio.net.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
That's right. You're tuned in to Barracks Talk right here on dvradio.net. I'm Bonerwood. And if you don't listen to us live, you missed us playing Jason Charles Miller, the latest guest for Contraband here on dvradio.net. We played his song from his latest album, In the Wasteland, that debuted yesterday, June 15th. The song was 100 Pound Hammer. Head over to his website, jasoncharlesmiller.com, and grab your copy right now today. Listen to his interview right after tonight's Barracks Talk at 23:30, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Again, if you missed the first airing at 2000, 8 p.m. Eastern. Anyway, we have got a very amazing, wonderful guest tonight. Her name's Al from Unconventional Vet Spouse. You there, Al?
I'm here, Bo.
Woohoo! What you doing, girlfriend? Hey, you girl. All right. So before we get into why you're here to talk about the show and all that, let everybody who's listening know who you are and a little bit about yourself in 10 or 15 seconds. And go.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, my name is Al. I started Unconventional Vet Spouse about a little over a year ago, and I am Chappie's wife from Dispronoun Vets.
Outstanding. So you're a veteran's spouse, obviously, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And you yourself, are you a civilian, veteran? What's the deal there?
No, I'm a civilian.
Oh, okay. Okay. So why are you having a show if you're not a veteran here on dvradio.net?
Well, I started the idea for the show because I wanted to highlight the spouses that are not, dependas or, the Jodies of the world. And I really like our perspective because we're bringing on veterans. My admin, some of them are veterans who are also spouses. So you get like both sides of the opinion on a lot of topics.
Okay. So what's the name of this show that's coming and when is it debuting here on DV Radio?
The name is Not Another Military Spouse. And it will be debuting next Friday, June 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Awesome. So I know you gave us a little background on what the show's about. Why in the hell did you want to make this show? I know that I've pushed you to make a show anyway, along with a few of our other friends, Nevermore and people like that. But why in the hell would you want to make a spouse radio show on a veteran network?
I just want to kind of show that all spouses don't really suck, and kind of take the stigma away of, spouses that are gonna just be here for your fucking BAH or,
So you're basically what your show is going to be about, not just this, but what it's going to hopefully show people is that not all spouses, male or female, are dependopotamus or triceratops or whatever the fuck you want to call them. But at the same time, you do have to hold your own in the quote-unquote military world where, like Chappie, he was deployed. You had to take care of the bills and the house and all of that stuff. And I know a couple of your hosts and people that work on your page have kids, so they obviously have to take care of the kids on top of, what their husband or their wife would be doing other times when they're not deployed. Am I on the right track there?
No, definitely. And when I chose my admin, I wanted to have a variety of spouses. I have spouses, veterans,
right,
Army, Air Force. I wanted to have a variety of people so everyone felt welcome and kind of bridge the gap between veteran and spouse.
Most definitely. I understand that. Marquis, you there? Marquis Davis.
No, I'm here, Bo.
Okay. I'm sorry. You're fine. Have you been listening to Al and what her show's about?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited to actually hear the show that Al is producing. My wife, I was in the Army for a very long time. My wife had to deal with a lot of the similar situations in which she had to deal with. And I know all spouses do, but some don't. I had to deal with some spouses while deployed on the phone or via someone with the FRG back home in order to correct some situations that was going on. You know what I'm saying? So to have a show that directly talks to spouses of the military or former military veterans, things of that nature, is excellent. I love it.
Right, and I'm glad you brought that up. I wanted to ask you, from a veteran's perspective and having to deal with a spouse that wasn't a veteran or what have you and had the kids at home and the bills and all that bullshit, what do you hope that her show is going to convey and what all she's already talked about?
Well, the one thing I really want I want you, Al, I give a lot of advice on radio. I want you, to take the show into a different direction than just talking to a spouse about their issues that they had. Talk about stuff like the FRG meetings, whether or not enlisted soldiers' wives could go over to the officer side of the base and let their kids play on the nicer playground, the schools on the base, things like that I don't know nothing about. I know nothing about schools on base. I just knew my son went to this one and that, this, that, and the other. Have people come on and talk about that kind of stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
Definitely. And we're right now on the page side, we're in the process of creating resource lists for, spouses going back to school, dealing with the VA, like all that, schools, how to, get jobs, all that kind of stuff. So we're definitely going to be talking about that and bringing guests on that can explain a bit more than even I could.
Yeah. I know you've already recorded a few shows.
Yep.
What are some of the topics, other than, telling in your first show, obviously, what the show's about and who you guys are? What are some of the topics that you guys hit on in your first few episodes?
So our first episode, we kind of explored who we were, but we got into the topic of deployment and coping with deployments. And the second show, I believe we got into a bit about the VA, because one of my admin, her husband recently got out right around the time that they got married. So she had to learn everything about the VA and how to get him appointments and, coping with all that. And then the third show, we have a bunch of topics that we have lined up, but that's about
right.
as far as we are.
Right. Are you going to just, in a nutshell, are you just going to talk about dependas and stuff like that? Or are you going to branch out and talk about the caregivers and
Stop calling them dependas?
Well, she knows what I'm talking. I'm talking about the stigma of dependas. I want everybody to understand that's what we're talking about here for their show. They're wanting to take that away. But are you going to focus more on that, or are you going to have topics like for the caregivers and stuff like that? How is your structure going to work when it comes to episodes and interviews and guests?
We haven't really gotten that far yet, to be honest. We're just now getting guests lined up. My first guest I'm really, really excited about. I don't know if anyone's seen the video going around of the female, I believe she was in the Navy.
Yeah.
Her name is Joanne. And she is trying to take away the stigma of female veterans and how they're not really, it's getting better, but they weren't treated the same as males in the military. So I'm really excited to have her on and talk. We're really open to any topic. We're open to talking about, caregivers. I love having, Chappie on the show and other spouses on the show, because I really like having the veteran perspective on the topics we're talking about, because sometimes you don't realize what the other person is feeling or their opinion is.
Right, and that's understandable. I mean, you've got your perspective, and like you said, you've got a veteran perspective. That's why I asked Marquis what he was hoping that your show would convey from a veteran standpoint. And like you said, you want to get that, but as well, you want to take the stigma and then grow on that with the spouses, because we were talking in the pre-show, it's like everyday life. Just because there's a few in a group making it bad, apparently that means the entire group is horrible, and that's how the entire group of that is. I mean, whether you're male or female spouse, you're not always a dependa, and it's usually a handful out of all of them, honestly.
Yeah, it's usually the 10% that usually does that for us.
It's usually the officer wives. That's what it normally is, the officer wives.
Right, exactly. Google, you there?
I'll say it. I don't care. I've had to deal with officer wives my entire career. I'll say it.
I'm here.
Have you been listening to Al? That was my question.
I heard some of it.
All right, goodbye. Goodbye, Google. Good night.
No,
so
I'm so fucking annoyed at
just
this
listen.
whole computer issue.
Just listen, and I'll tell you. Calm down, okay? Outstanding.
No.
Anyway, we've got Al on from Unconventional Vet Spouse, Chappie from Disgruntled Vet's wife, and she's talking about her upcoming show, Not Another Military Spouse, and how they're wanting to try and take away from that dependopotamus and triceratops stigma, and then not only talk about that, but other issues as well for spouses, whether they're male, female, or actual veteran spouses themselves. What as
really Six?
See, Six, you cannot do that. Now they think the subject is boring.
My
oh
God.
my goodness.
That was my way of saying everybody's going around the round table here. Ooh, no, are you listening? I thought the damn thing was pre-recorded, so I kept my mouth shut. Now you're asking me. But no,
how is it pre-recorded with me talking, Six? I have not done anything on this show in like months.
I kept my mouth shut for 20 minutes now. It's like, is anybody going to ask me my opinion?
Go ahead, Six. You want to do the interview? Go ahead.
We weren't at your opinion.
Wow. It's like that now, huh? You're going around, obviously, looking for somebody to ask questions. So I sit there, Google, have you been listening? No, computer. And then you're all like, oh, man. Oh, all right, let me see. Recoil's not here. I asked Marquis. What else could I ask?
Well, I haven't asked any questions yet, Six, because we know that when you ask questions, you're going to take at least 45 minutes to wrap it up. So
just ask the question. Fuck.
Go ahead, Marquis. Welcome back, by the way. Thank you for your
service. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Oh my God! All right.
Okay, I'll ask something. Okay, Who? Just cut it and put it into a promo.
Who? It's over.
So, Miss Owl, I have a question for you. Have you experienced any negative effects being a spouse of a veteran?
Well, it's funny because when Chappie, when the Unconventional Vets was growing and we started dating, he would post a picture of him and I on the page or whatever, and a lot of the comments were, oh, she's just a Jody, oh, she's gonna cheat on you, she's a dependa, and I was so new to the veteran and the military community that I didn't know what these words meant. So it started off very early.
You know, and that's funny because when I first got married to my wife, I was still I had just kind of got brand new in the military, just deployed and came back, and they all said the same thing. She's just using you for your money. She just wants your benefits and your insurance. She's gonna kill you, you know, stuff like that. And I was like, yo, okay, cool, Top, but I still love her and I want to marry her. So what's the big deal? Aren't you married, Top? You know, that's what I would always ask. Aren't you married?
Yeah, it's your life. If you're going to decide to get married, that's, you know, your choice.
So one thing I really would like to hear on your show, though, is you address topics such as that, the stigma of the girls in, say, Hinesville, Georgia, that's right outside of Fort Stewart, who get married to someone on base, and then they have to deal with other soldiers heckling them or looking at them funny because they think that they just want money because they live around a military base their entire life.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some interesting stories out there, but
listen, I'm trying to help you here, okay? I can take this and I can make this all about me, all right? Now,
it's my fault.
Chappie's distracting me.
Chappie, you need new glasses, man. Every time I see you on Facebook, you got those same glasses. I need to see you in new glasses, my friend.
Shouldn't you be answering your nephew's texts?
Oh, fuck you. I'm going in the other room.
I really appreciated that.
So, Six, do you have any questions for Owl?
Yeah. So you've been married now, an official military spouse, you just got married, but you've been together, so that's about the same. What are some of the things that you've noticed that kind of help perpetuate this on the female side by their actions? Is it as prevalent of a problem with infidelity and all the memes you see out there, the stereotypes? How much of it have you actually seen to be true, like percentage-wise?
I could tell you some stories. I mean, I won't, but
I'm sure you could. Well, background. Look, my mom was married to my dad. I'm an Army brat. My dad was in for over 20 years, and my mom used to take charge of the unit when there was no leadership around. She had more juice than my old man. She could get shit done, but she looked out for the welfare of all the soldiers as far as like if they had emergencies and stuff like that. It was a lot. It was a different world back then. But that's where the wives would come in to take care of the unit and help the soldiers in their needs and get shit done through ACS or whatever and stuff like that and be involved. And it seems like that's changed now, just from what I see on Facebook. I mean, because I get all my news from Facebook. So.
Yeah, I mean, the closed groups, at least for, because we're at Fort Carson, But some of the closed groups and the support in there is a little, or the drama, I should say, is pretty crazy.
Well, I know there's somebody on our show who had, no, I shouldn't say that. There are men that are actually, it goes both ways. Marquis even said it, whether you're a male, they do some of the stupidest stuff too. Especially when their spouse.
Those are the worst.
I think you'll have a great show if you approach it with, tackle a new subject every week. You can pass out information, and have where they can assist you. I think the hardest thing for female spouses, or for any spouse, are when they are young and they come in and they don't understand, especially one where an E1, 2, or 3 marries his sweetheart, pulls her, uproots her out of her little small town, and then she's living on base, and then he deploys. It's a lot of responsibility to throw on a young person, if they're not properly if they're not smart enough. You got to handle everything that the man was handling, if that wasn't already being done. Bills, car payment, if you got kids, and all this other crap, and mow your grass or you got a letter.
Hey, Sick, can I piggyback off you real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, my wife, when we first got married, she was 20. She knew nothing about bill paying, nothing like that. She still stayed with her mom and dad until I got her and moved her down there with me. And she found out that a lot of the other spouses in the military would click up. They would say, "Oh, what's your husband's rank?" They would become groups. What's your husband's rank? Oh, my husband's a private. Oh, okay, then you got to sit over there during the FRG meetings while we were deployed. And then when they found out that her husband was Specialist Davis, their tune quickly changed because I ran everything. But that, my situation was different. But for some of the other soldiers, their wives felt isolated, ostracized. Yeah. And then, I would have to come to the FRG meetings and try to pull them together. And my wife would get so mad at me. She's like, Marquis, why in the world do all the spouses love you so much? I said, because I have to talk to them with a smile and be nice to them. Because if I don't, someone's going to chew my head off,
Yeah, I'm not really involved much with the FRG. But I've heard stories. I've heard about how, if your husband or wife isn't of a certain rank, you can't associate, quote unquote, with them, which is crazy.
Oh, I like that one meme where the battalion commander or somebody took over one of the FRG meetings and asked how many people here are. He used the rank, like, what rank are you? And they broke up into ranks, and then he berated them. You have no rank! Yeah, what's your rank? Oh, Major so-and-so's wife. Wrong! Yeah. But no, the point is whoever controls those meetings is setting the agenda and the tone. If they start evolving into that just, the older wives should be, and the ones with more rank, should take on natural leadership roles because of who their husbands are, to help the group or to, help integrate the newcomer or the E1's wife. They're the ones who need it the most. They're probably the ones that don't know the inner workings of the military. They're the ones that should be told, look, if you got a problem, don't go to Facebook with it, because all you're going to do is make your life worse. They're the ones that don't understand how the military works. Yes, your husband's not coming home tonight because somebody lost a pair of nods, or the barracks weren't cleaned, or blah, 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 so.
Yeah, I feel like especially in the closed groups, some spouses that are new, they're terrified to ask questions because they feel like they're going to get.
That's why I use the phone. I do it even with the DV page. There are certain things I will not. That's a SOP within this house and in the group. Be careful what you put on because it never goes away. And then you have people that just want to do harm.
Yeah.
I mean, we are the DV page. We know about getting bashed.
Hey, one thing, though. I'll tell you one thing. Spouses have power, dude, when it comes to social media. See, Six, you didn't serve when social media was starting up or prevalent. See,
we had the porta potty writings.
See, we were in the field for about 2 weeks, and we had to get stuck on one route, and we couldn't come home yet, right? So some dude texted his wife. Next thing she went on Facebook onto the battalion's Facebook page, and she was like, "Why are they stuck over here at Papa Alpha 121, and why aren't they home yet?" She said the exact firing point, everything. And next thing you know, my first sergeant come running to me. He like, Sergeant Davis, man, we got a problem. I said, Top, what we got? He said, look, somebody out here done text their wife, and now Colonel such and such, I'm not gonna say their name, is all over my ass. So I got the whole battery together. I said, get your phones out. We're going through your text messages. I said, we got to, bro. I said, we got to. And next thing you know, man, we were out there for about an additional 15 minutes before they had us rolling in. Wives have power, dude.
I'll give you an example. Here's something like I'll never forget my mom had done as an E7's E8 wife. The units had all come back in from the field because three soldiers from our unit had been killed in an accident. And they're having a memorial service. And one of the unit commanders decided, no. Training is more important. We're going to stay out in the field. And she picked up the landline, called the battalion talk, got them to radio out to the field, put her through to the colonel, the battalion commander, and told him that he better fucking do something about it and that unit better come back in because the rest of the battalion was there for the memorial service. And she made that happen. You know, I mean, it was just, you know, these guys were, you know, well known within the unit, stuff like that. And that's where I remember. I never remember my mother, you know, using. She didn't have to. She had more juice on her own than using my dad's rank. He couldn't fucking. She had more. So anyhow, I just see that stuff. I post memes about the pen and pilots because it gets me clicks. But we don't really do it as much anymore. I mean, I don't think we do. Owl, do you see a lot of that on the page? I'm not talking about the comments, but the page itself. I don't think we're
dysfunctional. No, not really. I mean, the comments, it's going to happen, you know.
Yeah. Some of them have just got big old targets on them, like the one lady saying, "Why isn't my husband home tonight?" You know, blah blah blah. The ones in Hawaii, those were good ones where there were a couple wives complaining. Remember the where they were locked in for like a month when those weapons went missing or something? You remember that a couple years ago, Mark?
That would have been fun.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. It's my 3-year-old. I mean, no, she's my 1-year-old. I'm sorry, but yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you, we had some knots go missing in the field. We was on lockdown for 2 weeks straight. We couldn't go anywhere. They had to bring child to us. It's like we was in the field all over again. We had just came back from a month field shooting for the Chinese delegation down at Fort Stewart, and we had to shoot. We had to stay at our battery area for an additional 2 weeks because they couldn't find 2 pair of night vision goggles.
Wow.
Yeah. You talking about the wives were upset? Oh, man, it was crazy. At the time, I was a training room NCO, so I had to deal with all the phone calls. I had to deal with everything. So it was just wonderful for me to have to get cursed out by 110 spouses every day for 2 weeks. Loved it.
But at that point, it's out of your hands. You know? Like,
yes.
It's not like you can do anything about it. So, I actually, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's what I was going to say. You know, at that point, you just have to try to reassure them that everything's okay. Their husband's all right. Because remember, I was in an all-male unit. I was artillery. Their husband is okay. It'll be fine. Nothing I can do.
Yeah. What's the base pay for an E4's wife?
Don't do it, Six.
I talked about this on the show. That I saw on, I forget what page it was, but a spouse made a Red Cross call because she missed her husband who was deployed. That was her reasoning.
What? So she went through the process of convincing Red Cross that something was wrong in her family so that she can get her husband home. Why would you do that? Just
and then she goes on a page and like asks like, was this the right thing to do? And we were all like, no.
The only thing that does is make Sergeant Davis pissed off, and we just yell at you all day. That's all I do. And then it becomes a joke within the unit. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Can't go to the field because, you know, Private Smith's wife's going to call Red Cross. You know?
Yeah. There's a couple jokes within the unit now of spouses, but...
Jesus.
But
we have this one
ahead,
private. We have this one private. While we were deployed, he just got married to this girl, and I mean, like, she dropped out of high school, didn't even have a GED, and she cheated on him with the painter, and then yeah.
Hold on, stop.
I love that you're telling the story because I was so afraid that I was going to get you in trouble or something.
No, they don't. No one listens to this.
He's right. No one listens.
Being on this show gets him in trouble.
And then she got railed out by like 5 other guys, and came back, dated a corporal. He had a baby with him. He gets kicked out for drug charges, and now she's getting sent back to Utah.
Chappie actually said she got railed.
I know, right? I was just about to say that.
He actually
Chappie, if you need counseling on that for that soldier, let me know. I have a couple of them in my computer.
It sounded like when he told me this story, I was like, does your wife do porn? Like, with the painter? Really?
You know, when you said painter, I'm thinking he's like, yeah, I'm here to paint the house real quick. Well, you know, I'm available if you want some. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's pretty much the start of every shitty porno.
You can stick your paintbrush in my paint jug anytime.
But, like, that's the kind of stuff that I think Al's trying to, like, they're not like that. And tell, like, the supportive stories, like coping mechanisms, like real coping mechanisms of, you know, like when we're deployed.
Yeah, not like the stupid, oh, I just need a bottle of wine and some chocolate to get through this deployment. Like, we're going to tell you that you're going to have days where you're just going to
cry.
Yeah, ugly cry.
Al,
yeah.
I really want you to address on a show when a spouse has an argument with their soldier who's deployed, or Marine, or, you know, Coast Guard, or whoever, when they're deployed. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, me and my wife would have Skype arguments a lot my second deployment, you know, and I never knew how she was dealing with it back home, but I was dealing with a lot of stuff over there. We would have arguments. It almost broke up our marriage, things like that, you know, real life situations that people go through.
Oh, I think that was like the first or second show we talked about deployments, and Chappie brought a really good perspective on, you know, days where I was upset or I wanted to talk, and he would just kind of have to let me know, like, hey, today's not the day for me. Like, I need to zone out and chill out and not really talk. So it's nice to have the other side to give you the honest opinion, you know?
Sounds like me and Marquis been down the same pathway and we just can't get away from it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a little bit better now, I'm not going to lie, but during deployments, man, holy shit. It seems like deployment brings out everything. It's like, I hate to bring him up, but Dr. Phil said drinking brings out your real mood. It's like deployments brings out the real mood of the spouse back home. I hate you. You left me because you don't love me. No. I would go to jail.
Our second son. My wife would call me on Skype and ask me what brand of diapers to buy. And I'm like, come on. Come on. I don't care what brand you buy. I don't care. You know, stuff like that.
You know what you should...
It's all right. My kid's sperm donor, when I was deployed, he wanted me to come home, and then he's like, you just don't want to come home because you like it better out there. I'm like, yeah, I like getting shot at every day. I can't come home, like, and he was military. He was in the military.
Marquis, you should have, I was getting ready to say, Marquis, you should have called your wife and been like, what size tracer do I use for this howitzer? I'm not quite sure.
We don't have a tracer for the howitzer.
That's my point. Fucking go with the joke.
I'm about to say, an incendiary round, if I shoot it into a ground burst illumination, it might.
Might be a little fucking, collateral damage, but it'll be all right.
Yeah, something might burn down, but it'll be all right.
We'll sweep it under the next desert.
But no, Al, I'm excited to hear this show. I really am, and I think it's a great idea. My wife, she was pitching some spouse shows to some producers here in Atlanta, but apparently, you know, military is taboo unless it's like 9/11 or something.
Yeah.
Or what's that one show that they have, Army Wives, and it's like all about cheating wives and shit.
Hold on. Do not tell me they have an Army Wives show.
Yes,
They
they
do.
do.
It's called-
Where have you
They used-
been?
Hey, Marquis.
I have to tell my wife.
Marquis,
Because
when
I
I
wanted to show she pitched with the same name on it. Hold on a second.
Marquis, when I was married, I was forced to watch that shit. I hated Army Wives. It's like the most unrealistic. It's the most unrealistic spouse television show out there, whether it's military or just everyday spouse. It's so unrealistic, man. Like, I wanted to fucking rip my ears off and pull my eyes out through my ass. But anyway, getting off topic.
But you know something? I want to say one thing. There are good spouses in the military, male and female, and there are bad ones. I had one soldier when I was in a part of the detachment unit, and her husband was cheating on her rampantly, left and right. Everybody knew about it, so I had to go and address him, and let him know that, hey, right now you are doing something that is bringing negative light, like I would any other soldier. You tell a soldier when you find out that they're cheating, you write them a counseling, you tell them, hey, this is bringing negative light. You can't get in trouble for this. And I told him, I said, look, man, your wife is deployed. You're bringing a lot of stress upon her because she knows about this. They're sending her videos and photos of it. So if she dies over there, Lord, she didn't, how are you going to feel that you've been over here banging every Jill and Jane in Hinesville?
Honestly, some of them wouldn't give two shits or a stir. So.
Yep.
Yeah,
But,
I know. Trust me, I know. But then when the soldier came back, I counseled her and let her know, hey, this is your options. This is what you can do. You have the evidence, use this and go forth. But that's what good leadership is. You got to remember, you have the spouse and you also have good leaders. You have bad spouses, you have bad leaders. Now I'm done. I'm muting.
Well, that's kind of like what's funny about what the FRGs kind of turned into is like, I feel like FRGs were supposed to be that leadership for the spouses. Like you have your seasoned spouses that have done 2-3 deployments, and now it's just turned into, how much drama can we like bring upon, or who's cheating on who. They don't talk about like, hey, what can I do if my like water heater breaks? You know what I mean?
What's the Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, not all FRGs, and we talked about this too, are bad. One of my admins, she was a former key spouse and for the Air Force, and she said that while she was a key spouse, it was great until certain people came in and they kind of turned things to garbage, so she left. But
right, well, since everyone got to do their "this is my moment" in time for the show, what do you hope to get out of this show from not just the DBs, from any caregiver or civilian or spouse that listens to DB Radio?
I would like to give spouses on our page, but in general, a chance to, shed light on the amazing leaders and the men and women that are changing the community and are kind of paving their own path and having their own, and that's why I named the page Unconventional Vet Spouses, because they're the women that, run the household, have their own careers, take care of things while their spouses are gone, and just really do what they got to do in life. So that's what I would like to see with the show, and really make it a place where veterans and spouses feel comfortable going.
I honestly think that you just make up these titles to fuck with me, because I still want to say not another teen movie every time I bring up your show. But yeah, I think that's a good outlook, and like we've all said, we had Recoil on in the pre-show, and Marquis and Google and Six and myself and a lot of other people who know about this show or knew about it beforehand, where we were throwing topics at them and getting their feedback so we could go ahead and pursue this. Everyone knows that it's something that needs to be done. It's how you do it and the way you go about talking about things that's going to make it a success, just like Marquis said. And I know you're a smart, intelligent lady, and I know you'll take it and you'll run with it. And I know you get haters on your page. You're going to get haters on the show as well, but that comes with the territory. But you take that and you use that for your show. I mean, we do every fucking show. So I'll really look forward to hearing what people have to say about it and their feedback. Speaking of feedback, are you interested in knowing what the listeners think of it when they hear or any suggestions that they might have for your show? And if so, how can they contact you with their suggestions and feedback?
I'm absolutely open to any feedback. Obviously, the show is so new, so we're still trying to find our way of, different topics and different ways we can approach things. The best way to probably contact us would be on the Facebook page at Unconventional Vet Spouse. I know it's a mouthful, but
yeah try saying that 10 times fast. Anyway.
Try saying that while you're drunk. That's the fun one.
Right. So, Not Another Military Spouse. When does it debut, Al?
June 22nd, a week from 6 days from now.
Yep, that's on a Friday. What time?
7 p.m. Eastern.
So that's 1900 for all of you potato heads that don't understand military time, or the fact that we have 24 hours in a goddamn day. Right? Google had to explain to me that we don't have two 11-11s anymore, so I had to get rid of that. Anyway, that's another topic for another show. Al, is there anything else that you want our listeners to know about? What you've already got out, Unconventional Vet Spouse, social media. Is there anything else that you want to leave them with tonight?
I just really want to thank DV Radio, you especially for pressuring me. I'm just kidding. Helping me produce the show and get started. And I'm really happy that we're being given this platform to send our message and spend our community. So thank you.
I sort of did pressure you. I kept on at you like 3 days in a row. Then it was going every week. And you're like, just keep reminding me. I was like, yeah, I'm going to keep reminding your ass. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for wanting to do this show. Thank you to your other hosts as well. I know they're wonderful. I've actually met one of them. She's fucking hilarious. But thank you again for coming on tonight and telling everybody about it. Thank you so much, Al. Have a wonderful evening.
You as well.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's Al, Unconventional Vet Spouse. She is the wife of disgruntled vets, Chappie, coming up with Not Another Military Spouse on June 22nd, next Friday at 1900, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please listen to it. Trust me. You'll learn something every day. I learned something. Shit. And I was married in that fucking segment that I was in the military. Anyway. So, before we go to break, Marquis, we've got about 5 minutes. Marquis 3030 next week. What made you all of a sudden decide to make a new one, brother?
You know what's funny? As I said earlier, I finally found a place in myself where I'm comfortable with criticism and critiques and praises and things like that. So, honest to God, I'll let you guys know straight up. I'm an open freaking canvas, you know. I like to absorb knowledge and spit it out. But sometimes, me being me, I get in my feelings, you know, and then I get upset about something, and I'll just like, you know what, I'm going to take a break from it. So I took a break because there was a lot of stuff going on. My mom was in a mental institution. I'll say it. I just found out who my real father is, and I got 4 brothers, 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I'll say it, you know, so it's a lot of things that were happening in my life at the time. And I just need to take a break, step back, and realize who I was. Plus, I got 5 kids, so these little bastards, they just, oh my God, gobble up everything. So I decided to do a new Dirty 30. Especially during this time when North Korea, my favorite country in the whole freaking world, and Kim Jong-un, you know, I love that little dictator. Oh my God, I love him. So I had to do a show.
That little dictator.
I had to do a show about President Trump and Kim Jong-un meeting each other. It's just wonderful. I love it. Oh my God, it was such great material. So I did the show.
You know, me and you, we don't talk like we used to because you got your stuff going on. Like you said, you had to take a break, back away personally, and then I've got so much shit going on and all of that. But whenever me and you talk, it's like not a day hasn't went by yet. You know, it's I mean, and then the other day, my phone's been messed up, so it's been a piece of shit. And I got a text message this morning from you. Are you ignoring me? I was like, what the fuck? And I look at when it was sent, and it was the night you were trying to find me, and I was not on any social media that night. I just took a break that evening. And I was like, oh shit, Marquis thinks I'm mad at him. And then I started reading. I was like, oh, Dickface sent me one like days ago, and he didn't understand that my phone was a piece of shit. But yeah, I'm glad to have you back. I know our listeners are fucking ecstatic to have you back. They've been asked, where the Marquis Dirty 30 gonna be new? And I'm like, hey, he's taking a break. Got some stuff, all right? He's been, trying to get us 55-inch flat screen TVs, all right? So,
well, see, but now I just explained everything. I'll tell you guys, man, my life is an open book. If you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it. I don't care. Like, what can you do to me other than get upset with me and tell me no? I'm going to tell you. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. If you don't like something, I'll tell you why. I don't like it. Things like that. That's me. I've always been that way.
As long as you ain't homophobic with Samuel L. Jackson, it's all kosher, hood.
You know what? Are we going to talk about that?
Yeah,
that's the stupidest thing in the world.
I was going to say, I wanted to talk about that really quick. I mean, I don't want to dive too deep into it because we know where it's going to go. But let me find this really quick, the screenshot that I took of the tweet. Oh my God, the host chat is just filled up today, man. Holy fuck. Okay, so, Samuel L. Jackson done a tweet. I'm guessing it was this morning, I believe, Marquis. Was it this morning?
Yeah, it was this morning.
So he tweeted out this morning with a picture of the After Dicks Met, and it says going down, and it's a picture of that. But in the tweet, he says, must have been a party at the White House. Mitch, Paul, Rudy, and others were spotted wearing knee pads and carrying these lined up outside. Happy birthday. He's got a clown face and the shit emoji. I fucking laughed so hard, man. It's not even funny. But I didn't know about it until I'd read the headline that said something about Samuel L. Jackson tweets out homophobic on Twitter or whatever. And I was like, how the fuck is this homophobic? So being Bo, I tweeted out his tweet, and I said, and there's that tweet that I laughed at harder than I should have. I didn't have a dick in my mouth. Wait for it. I didn't have a dick in my mouth. The saying that and not being gay whilst having gay friends make me homophobic? Please let me know. # keyboard warriors know all. I started reading some of these comments, and I'm not even going to read them on here because some of them are fucking horrible. But these are so racist and so bigoted, it's not even funny. And I was just appalled at the fact that, one, they read into a fucking tweet, and two, they're being racist while calling him a homophobic, which homophobic means you're afraid of gay people. It doesn't mean anything else, but you're afraid of gay people. That's what a phobic is. Oh my God, Marquis, take it from there, please.
You know what's so funny about this is that Samuel L. Jackson is a known liberal. We know this. Who cares? Who cares about people's political agendas nowadays? It really doesn't matter. Everybody's either a liberal or you're a very conservative. No matter. Okay? So he's tweeting this out just because he's saying that because these guys were there, they must have been blowing off the president. I'll say it. I don't care. He was blowing, to get what they wanted to get passed or get some money here or get this legislation done. That's kind of how Washington works, people. But he tweeted it and put the dick mints on there and stuff like that. So now people are upset at Samuel L. Jackson, the guy who says motherfucking in every single movie he's in. He was on a plane. He was on a movie called Snakes on a Plane, where the only reason he was in it because he can say, get these motherfucking snakes off this motherfucking plane. That's the only reason he was on it. But now people are upset using racial slurs to attack a guy who they're deeming to be homophobic is kind of ass backwards.
Exactly.
The whole LGBTQ community is confusing me right now because they don't want to eat chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A, which are delicious. Anytime anyone says anything about a homosexual person, whether it's right or wrong, they get upset and want to boycott it. It's ridiculous. I mean, let's live in a world where we can just accept each other and not care about who you're having sex with because no one really cares. Back in the 50s and 60s, no one cared who you were having sex with. They only cared if you was black or white.
No. And if you masturbated or not. That's why we have cornflakes. We have cornflakes because, it would stop men from masturbating. Thank you, Mr. Kellogg. Didn't work. Anyway, but yeah, Marquis fucking on point with that. I mean, I even posted something about it on Facebook, and somebody said, no screenshot because a DV banhammer or whatever. And I was like, exactly. Because if I put that out on Facebook, that screenshot, someone would say, hey, I'm supporting Samuel L. Jackson. I support his work and what he does as a fucking man, because he has come through some shit. Let me tell you, him and Morgan Freeman, those two motherfuckers have went through some goddamn shit. Anyway, but
Don't
on
bring
top
up Morgan Freeman, he's a rapist apparently.
Oh, he's a rapist. Oh my God. Oh, I got to tell you something too after the break, after we get done with Junk in the News. Anyway, but they would also say that I don't like gays, which is completely fucking wrong. I mean, Marquis and Google both can tell you, I have gay people on my Facebook page. They fucking laugh at all my gay jokes. Whether they're fucked up or not, they fucking laugh at them. Like, I've had some harsh-ass gay jokes on my personal Facebook, let me tell you. And I've got a lesbian friend that laughs at every single one of them. Like, she just fucking dies laughing. But this world is reading into shit, man. Stop it. I've had enough of it. I mean, fucking.
It's social media, my friend. Well, it gives a voice to the voiceless, and it gives a voice to the idiots.
Well,
that's the reason.
You and I are the same, Marquis. We hate talking politics on a show like tonight, but for some reason we can't avoid it. We have to talk about it. I mean,
well, what's her name? Since you brought up politics, Kathy Griffin attacked who is it? I think Kevin Hart, because he's not bashing Trump.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Everybody's on the
This is what you've stooped down to? Now you're mad at others because they're not bashing Trump?
Well, it's just
comedians are the most dog-eat-dog world. They will stab each other in the back for a moment of sunshine. And Kevin Hart right now is at the pinnacle of being a comedian.
Yeah.
Like, he's in every movie. He's in every show. So they're going to do whatever they can to try to drag him down. That's the sad part about the comedian world, you know?
Marquis and Google both know how I feel about Kanye and the Kardashians and shit. But people are mad at Kanye because he's for Trump now. And he's a black man. I'm like, who the fuck cares?
Nah, bro. Nah, don't give Kanye no pass, because just when Katrina happened, he was saying Bush didn't like black folks. And President Bush is probably one of the most chillest presidents in the whole United States.
I'm not giving him a pass. Right. You know that. But I'm like, who the fuck cares? What the fuck he said? He's dumb shit anyway. Right. Like, he has the worst education I've ever seen of anybody. But yet, he's like, quote unquote, in his words, the #1 rock star in the world. Whatever that means. But
hey, did you see him on Family Feud the other day with the Kardashian family?
Hell no, I seen that shit advertised. I said, I am not watching Family Feud with Steve Harvey just for them.
Yeah, right.
Hey, buddy.
I
Steve
saw that
Harvey
too.
makes
It's like,
Family
no
Feud
thanks.
hilarious.
I love Steve Harvey. Me and my mom love Steve Harvey, but I cannot watch anything if it's got some stupid people in it, like the K's and the K West. I can't do it. Ain't
like
happening.
The Kardashians. Oh,
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
100 people surveyed said good answer. All right,
but,
we need to.
Hold on, Bo, real quick. I want to jump back real quick. Okay. Yep. So the one thing I want us veterans and the people who are listening to this show tonight to understand is that we aren't homophobic here at DV Radio or the DV page, anything. We're not homophobic. We're not racist. It's just anything that's funny. That's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to talk about. We're not ultra conservative. We're not ultra liberal. We're going to talk about whatever is going on in the world. Yeah. We're going to make fun of it. That's what happens here. So stop. Get your panties out of a twat.
Out of a twat?
I think that's how it goes. I can't remember.
Out of a wad.
Trailer Park Boys.
Get your panties out of a wad.
Ah, there we go. That makes more sense. That's the white way to say it.
A twat is the vagina area.
Well, get your panties out of that too. I mean, come on. Makes sense.
Honestly, I don't understand why you would want them up there anyway. That just seems unsanitary to me.
And let's go to the commercial.
And we'll be back right after this with Google's Junk That's in the News right here on Barracks.dvradio.net. Hey, fuckers, we may not be on the cover of the Rolling Stone, but we have all the music you could ask for. Every music genre, but if there's a song that's not on the station that you want to hear,
Let us know. Email us at info@dvradio.net, leave a post on our Facebook page, or tweet us on Twitter. Don't forget to like and follow, because it's anytime you want. And like Mom always said,
Ladies love country boys.
because
I get whiskey bent, hellbound.
always remember and never forget, we always
Radio.
Ever shop online at smile.amazon.com? Why not give back to the DV Farm by making it your charity of choice? No extra fees or hidden costs, and a portion of your purchase goes directly towards the DV Farm, located in Gilsum, New Hampshire, and helping to continue its mission. That's smile.amazon.com, and be sure DV Farm is your charity of choice. For more information about the DV Farm, please go to dvfarm.org.
Let's get it on.
We've got some bread made for you! The music.
Let's go!
You're listening to WTVR on DVRadio.net. By veterans, for veterans.
Simply made for you.
You big dummy. When the president lies, it's not called a lie. It's called executive privilege. I'm Fred G. Sanford, and the G is for Guadalcanal. Want to see my diary? Were you a veteran? That's right. Oh, did you see much action? Well, only on leave.
And now, it's time to find out what stupid junk is in the news.
God damn it, I was muted on my headset.
Wait. I gotta fix something. Hold on. I forgot to do this while you were muted. I forgot to do something while you were muted.
Oh, man. Maybe I should tell the joke on the air, Bo.
Okay.
Alright, so during the break we were talking in Skype, and all of a sudden Marquis is like, I am not trusting Google directly. And so I said, I think it's because he's still butthurt over the joke I made yesterday. And the joke is that I was asking him if he thought that the Falcons should have received a participation trophy for making it to the Super Bowl, but then blowing it in the third quarter.
Oh, damn. Damn! Google over there doing what she does best.
Breaking the law.
I'm sorry. It was too funny not to ask him that. I heard it earlier that day, alright? So that's my excuse. But he was not very happy with me. Oh, man. Alright. Moving on to the news. So, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey was forced to apologize for eating at Chick-fil-A. And he was forced to apologize because he tweeted something about him going to Chick-fil-A and eating there for the first time and blah, blah, blah. And so people got all butthurt because they're like, how dare you eat at Chick-fil-A during LGBT month? And he's like, what the fuck? Like, so he apologized because apparently you're not allowed to eat at Chick-fil-A during Pride month.
I'll tell you what, if I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat where the fuck I want. I don't give a shit if it's fucking Don't Eat Cows month. I'm gonna fucking eat at fucking Wendy's and McDonald's and Burger King and all the other fucking fast food restaurants I can't think of off the top of my head.
Exactly.
Bo, you want to know what's funny about this, though? Bo, is that Chick-fil-A was one of the only restaurants to help and give food to the people who was doing the Orlando shootings. You know that, right? Like when the Orlando shootings happened down there, that nightclub, the gay nightclub,
I was going to say, I heard something about that.
Up. You know, it's like, and the thing that's so funny about this is that they are upset at the CEO, the chairman of the chairman of Chick-fil-A. This is what they're upset about because when asked, he said, "I support straight marriage because that's the biblical sense." That's all he said. He didn't say I hate gay marriages or nothing. And so they're upset. Oh no! How dare you say that? We're gay and we don't like that, so we won't eat your delicious chicken sandwiches with your delicious pickles.
Right. So,
you know what?
And that's the thing. It's because he's Catholic.
Well, it's like when I first started letting people know that I don't believe in religion or a deity or in any sense. People were like, "What? You're going to hell and you believe in Satan?" I'm like, if that was possible, I would believe in a fucking deity, you jackass. Like, I can't go to somewhere I don't believe in, and I can't worship something that has to do with a fucking deity. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, right.
Like, goddamn. Right? That doesn't mean I have a problem with people's religion. I don't care for it. And me and Marquis talk about it from time to time. But that doesn't mean I hate Marquis because he's religious. I mean, come on.
I go to church faithfully. You know. I believe in God. I like my baby Jesus.
I love it,
Me and Bo are still friends. Me and Bo are still friends.
Well, one guy, former CNN anchor Soledad O'Brien, he tweeted out, "This is an interesting company to boost during Pride Month at Jack." And Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, responded with, "You're right, completely forgot about their background." I would have been like, "Fuck you, bitches." That's what I would have said.
Man, it wouldn't do for me to own a company and be like this big CEO or something, or like an actual known famous person around the world, because I don't care if I lose sponsors or not. I'm not going to bow to you and apologize for everything that I say or do. If you are that butthurt, you need to get away from fucking life. You just need to get away from everything.
Well, see, but that's the thing that I don't like about the LGBTQ community right now in their movement, is that they're forcing themselves upon people to accept their lifestyle when they don't have to.
That's what I don't like about a lot of churches and preachers. The same issue. You don't come to me and say, "I need God," and tell me the word, and every time we talk, that's all you're going to tell me to get me to come be godly or whatever. I don't want to hear it, and I'm not going to like you because that's all your agenda is. Go fuck yourself.
Well, you know what upsets me the most, though, is that they try to liken this movement with the civil rights movement. Like, no, the civil rights movement was trying to just get everybody to be equal who were in the same skin.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, pretty sure we're not all on the same sexual level as the LGBTQCXYZ ones.
But
yeah, how many fucking letters do they have on that now?
Say what?
13.
I know, right? It's insane. They keep making it longer. But I want to be represented too. Pick me. And there's another letter. Anyway, moving right along. And as Bo mentioned, I did have 7 news stories, but one of them, I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I really don't feel like it's that important to us. So
nix it. We only have 6. So we have 86.
I know. I did not find an 8th news story. I just reduced to 6.
Man, I wished I had my crowd applause on here. I don't have that one. I forgot to put it on here. God damn it. The one that I want to fucking use, I don't have.
So this is from New Canaan, Connecticut. The board of realtors in New Canaan, Connecticut has voted to take down all for sale signs by July 1st because it's a wealthy town and it makes it look tacky, you know. Like the for sale signs aren't really needed in this wealthy town because everyone shops online anyway now. Or they go to a realtor.
Yeah, because I want to buy a house online that I've never fucking seen before.
Exactly. There are actually people that do this.
Well, there's actually people that will order a car offline and hate it the time they fucking drop. Go fuck yourself. Go fucking get physical. Let's get physical.
Yep. So yeah, they have banned the for sale yard signs because, like I said, it makes things look tacky. I personally kind of like driving around neighborhoods and seeing what houses are for sale.
Oh, I love going in a wealthy neighborhood and seeing all kinds of fucking for sale signs and for rent. It's like, ha! Yeah, it's not so fun, is it, bitches?
Right. And so one guy, Moynihan, he said there are a lot of signs on houses that take longer to sell. In New Canaan, people don't drive around looking for $3 million, $4 million houses. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't be driving in New Canaan to buy a house, but I'd like to know like what house is for sale.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to just see it.
If I was in the market for a house of that price and I Google the address and I go to it, I want to see, oh, this house is for sale.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's the other reason to have one, but it makes it look tacky. So New Canaan will no longer have for sale signs as of July 1st. So if you're thinking of doing what I do sometimes and drive through a neighborhood just to see what houses are for sale, New Canaan, it's your last opportunity to do this.
Bureaucrats, I tell you what.
Right? That's what I thought. All right. This is from Chicago, the Chicago suburbs. Officer rescues toddler running along busy road. Yep. Apparently this little kid. What?
Say that again?
Officer rescues toddler running along busy road.
I'm done. I'm done with life. I'm finished. It's fuck it.
The young boy escaped his mother's watchful eye, left his house, and was found by Sergeant Anthony Menino running on Route 59 in the Chicago suburbs.
Yeah. Did they have a loudspeaker playing the Frogger theme?
I don't know, but the boy was teetering in and out of a lane of traffic as cars and trucks rushed by, prompting the officer to shout and run after him, according to dash cam video.
You mean to tell me they actually use the term teetering in and out of traffic as a child is trying to walk through traffic?
Yes.
I was waiting for teeter-tottering, but...
This story right here shows me just how far we have come as a society and lacking the awareness and caring for children. Because if this was back in the 80s, someone would have stopped, picked that kid up. You know what I'm saying? And would have found his parents for him. The cops wouldn't have had to do it.
Not only that, Marquis, the person that got you on the other side to your mama or daddy and seeing that your mama or daddy was like losing their shit would have beat your ass their fucking self.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
We went away from it takes a village to raise a child to you can't tell my child what to do.
Exactly.
And that's the problem with society.
Yep. No one was hurt during this incident. The police department attributes that to Menino's observation while on patrol and quick reaction, placing his squad car and himself between the child and traffic, and he was presented his department's life-saving award.
Jesus Christ.
Apparently there is one of those.
Oh my God.
I did not know that.
I'm fucking through with life, man. Holy shit.
Well, Bo, you're not the only one. There is a raccoon that I think decided was through with life as well. Since he went and decided to climb up a skyscraper. And this happened in St. Paul, Minnesota.
That damn kid's up on the window again with them boys over there. You better get them down.
Yep. The daredevil raccoon that became an online sensation. There is video of this, by the way, when it spent almost 20 nail-biting hours scaling a 25-story office tower in Minnesota, has been safely rescued and released back into the wilds after making it to the top of the building unscathed. He did stop. Which floor did he stop on? I forgot which floor he stopped on, but he did stop and took a nap.
You know what?
While he was...
I'm going to sound like a heartless asshole, dickhead. I love animals, but I'd have been like, let's see what happens. I just would want to see what the fuck would happen once he got to the fucking top of that building. Like, would he like jump off? Would he fucking go make him a nest? What the fuck's gonna happen? I legitimately want to know what the fuck was going through his mind. Once I get up here, what happens? Like, now we'll never know, because some douchebag had to intervene with fucking the life cycle. What the fuck, people? Yep. Come on. Let animals be fucking animals. Stop stepping in. Jesus.
Oh, it's crazy.
I'm going to...
The animal's brush with international fame began on Monday when it was originally spotted on the roof of a nearby 2-story office block. It is believed to have been there for 2 days without food or water before being removed by maintenance workers. And rather than find safety on street level, however, it jumped over to the UBS Tower, one of the largest skyscrapers in the city, where it apparently began climbing the outside of the building, moving up, down, and sometimes sideways.
I'm really curious what would have happened.
When it reached the top, the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center place had sent people to pick up the raccoon and release it back into the wild.
Just out of curiosity, if animals could do what human beings could do you think that the animal kingdom, quote unquote, would make a documentary or docudrama about this raccoon and of his day leading up to why the fuck he started scaling a skyscraper? Like, can you guys imagine that? Like,
I know.
From Squirrel French Studios. Like,
I know. It's crazy. But the raccoon made it safely to the top, and there is video of this raccoon climbing. So there you have it.
PETA is filing a lawsuit against the people who saved him from the top of the tower, because that's what PETA does, make frivolous lawsuits.
Man, I'm so glad PETA has not heard some of our shows or seen what DB6 has done before. Oh, fuck. Talk about lawsuits out. Man, you talk about being in the red. We'd be up under the red and then some.
Just in lawyer fees, because that's what PETA does. They just use their immense money to just take you to court and make you pay lawyer fees.
They're about as bad as ASCAP.
And your final story of the evening, it's also kind of a feel-good story. Just like the raccoon, it kind of makes you feel like all warm and fuzzy that he made it all the way up the skyscraper. He could have slipped and fallen and died. So
he could have slipped, fell, tripped, and fell in. He could have slipped, tripped, and fell in.
Right. Now here's your other feel-good story of the week. Baby moose adopts family and their dog.
Aww.
So this happened in Keduskeg, Maine. A week-old baby moose abandoned by its mother is warming hearts on social media after she adopted a new family that stepped in to help. Shannon Lugdon of Maine first saw the animal on the morning of June 2nd while she helped her avoid the road. Legend otherwise left Miss Maggie Moose alone. And that's because the wildlife wardens asked and tells you, like, don't bother, like baby animals and stuff, because they're rarely abandoned. The following morning, though, Legend's dog Leo easily found Miss Maggie again, and they became fast friends. And it's a very cute picture. Most animals are not abandoned for more than 24 hours. So, there you go. The baby moose is now with them.
Marquis probably waiting on another koala bear story.
I haven't found any good ones.
Them motherfuckers are vicious, man. And fucking Marquis over here. Oh my God, they're so cute. And he was legitimate that night. He was fucking. He loved them.
I do. My wife, when my daughter asked me what was my favorite animal, and when I said koala bears, my wife was like, "What?" She's like, a koala bear. I said, "Yeah, I love koala."
You know what's funny? I can imagine your wife's face when she asked you, what? After you said that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to tell you, man, it used to be a show that came on when I was little that had 2 koala bears. They had on overalls, and I used to watch it all the time. And I fell in love with freaking koala bears. Sue me. Don't sue me. We'll both be broke.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Wow.
Oh man.
I still like Zaboomafoo. I still like Zaboomafoo. I know I was a little old. But anyway, Zaboomafoo with the Crap Brothers walking in the woods one
Hey,
day.
Marky, I found you a good story. Fecal transplants could save endangered koala.
Just to let everybody know, we finished the news, but yet Google found another news story.
No, I'm not gonna read it. I'll send Marky the link. Since he likes koalas.
She's gonna send it to Marquis, who's then gonna add it. Anyway, so Marquis, we've got the Marquis Dirty 30 coming up next week. One more time, what's it about? And yeah, go for it.
Hey, listen, guys, the Marquis Dirty 30 next week. I know it's going to be a little late, but don't worry about it. It's regarding the North Korea and President Trump meeting in Singapore. Just briefly talk about that, get my opinions. You know I hate North Korea. Well, let me correct that. I love North Korea because now we're going to become trading partners with them. They're going to denuclearize. And I just love the fact that North Korea is coming around to what the American ideology is because of this one meeting they had with Donald Trump. And we're going to talk some, modern day stuff like basketball and suicide, because for some reason when celebrities commit suicide, everyone puts up a status and they're so sad about it. But when one of the 22 commits suicide, no one cares. So we talk about that as well. That's what the Marquis Dirty 30 is going to be about next week. So please tune in. I hope you do. Send me some comments. You can find me on Facebook at DV Marquis. You can reach me on Twitter at Marquis A. Davis1. Or you can email me at LimaCharlieRadio@gmail.com. I told you before, I'm not changing my email because I don't care.
And just for Marquis. But yeah, so tune in next week for Marquis Dirty 30. It's the normal time, the 20:30, 8:30, blah, 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 blah time. So please tune in, guys. You keep fucking asking me when a new fucking Marquis Dirty 30 is coming. It's coming. Hard.
Yeah.
Get it? It's coming hard? Okay. Anyway, what DV6 also failed to mention at the beginning of the show was DV Farm's donations. Smile.amazon.com. Make DV Farm your charity of choice. When you check out after shopping on Smile.amazon.com, a portion of your shopping cart with no hidden fees or extra cost goes directly to the DV Farm. Again, that's Smile.amazon.com. Make DV Farm your charity of choice. Ask Google, ask DV6. I've let them see portions of the new dvfarm.org website that I'm working on currently. It's going to be completely different, but it's going to be more navigatable and more, it's going to flow better. You guys hopefully will love it. We're still working out some kinks. I've got to add a few more things, but hopefully you guys will love it. It should be ready within the next couple of months. I do a lot of fucking work, so give me some fucking slack. Anyway, Disgruntled Discussions Wednesdays, Up in Arms, the Struggle Brothers, Contraband, PTS Dogs, Service Dogs Show, Media Litter Sandwich. We have all those shows right here on dvradio.net. If you want to know when they are going to air, what time, what day, go to dvradio.net/schedule. Go all the way down to the bottom, and there's an actual Google Calendar that you can print off or you can add to your own Google Calendar. It's that simple. Find out when upcoming shows are going to debut, when shows are already airing. It's that simple. Go listen to them. Come in the chat room, chat with the host, chat with other fellow DVEs and civilians and all that stuff. Get to know one another. Have some fun on your nights. Most of them are at 8 o'clock. Some of them are at 7 o'clock. We're trying to get it in the rotation where we do some reruns, but you got to give us time where we're in the works of other stuff as well. So it's all coming. After tonight's show of Barracks Talk, another airing of Contraband at 23:30 Eastern Standard Time is going to air. That's with Jason Charles Miller. If you didn't hear us live, you missed his song 100 Pound Hammer from his newest and latest album, In the Wasteland, which debuted yesterday, June 15th. Go over to JasonCharlesMiller.com, buy it, listen to it, do whatever you can. It's fucking wonderful. Also, he is that guest on Contraband tonight. He talks about his grandpa who actually coordinated the actual Great Escape. Not the movie, not the book, the actual Great Escape. So you want to hear about that and everything else that man has to talk about, and it's fucking wonderful. That's hosted by David Libby from warriorservice.org and SOSRAband.com. Go check those out. Wonderful music. They got an album coming up later this year, hopefully, if nothing falls through, and you can go get their End of the Stress album and all of that stuff. And please check out warriorservice.org. Follow us on YouTube, Dysfunctional Veterans, DV Radio, Twitter at DV_DV Radio, all that good shit. MeWe, whatever the fuck. I don't care about social media. You guys apparently do. What the fuck ever. Don't forget to get your free American flag when you spend $50 or more, and we'll include it. It's a free 3-foot by 5-foot American-made American flag over at mydvstore.com. Get it for 4th of July. Do it today. Go, 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 go. Did I forget anything, you guys?
Good night.
See you later.
All right. Without further ado, I guess we're going to end tonight's show. But before we do, yeah, that's it. No, I got nothing. Sorry. Tricked you. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Please go listen to the other shows that we have here on dbradio.net. Until next week, Buttsickles. Bye-bye.
My name is David Libby.
Always make sure that your worst show is better than anybody else's best show.
Welcome to Contraband. Our guest is Johnny Cornwall, Jeff Vicente, Chris Brother Latham. He's the band of SOSRA, and I get to cackle on there every now and then. Well, the guy that owns the Chinese food place, his name is Art.
DV Radio.
Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter.
That's all, folks. Goodbye, motherfucker! DV Radio.